Alright, so we tested the S80RR, now we're going to test the Vagner. The old OP supercar. The old king of supers. Now, what does the Vagner have that the S80RR doesn't? Well, top speed. It still corners very good, although it doesn't have the most downforce. The RE7B has more downforce than the Vagner. But those values are irrelevant compared to the S80RR. Now, the Vagner is not as well behaved as the S80RR. No. Not at all. The Vagner is not that well balanced. You see, at high speeds, when downforce kicks in, the Vagner, well, is very, very balanced. But at lower speeds, no, that's not going to happen. The Vagner oversteers a lot. It has so much power that makes the car oversteer, so the back end starts to kick off. At low speeds, when downforce kicks in, that's a different car, a different mask of the car comes through, and the car just behaves perfectly. Okay, see that? It has good acceleration, make no mistake, this thing accelerates. And now the car is well behaved, look. Absolutely no drama through the corners, but this only happens when you get that speed going. Until then, the car has a tendency to, quite frankly, oversteer. That's how the car behaves. It doesn't go very good over curbs. This car hates curbs, so it's mandatory to use off-road tires. Trust me. As soon as I put off-road tires in the Vagner and going over curbs, the car just started being more responsive over curbs and not crashing all the time and spinning out at all speeds. Damn it, too much speed there. See, even at higher speeds, the Vagner is not that good compared to the S80RR, cornering-wise. In a straight line competition, the Vagner will demolish the S80RR. This thing has so much power in terms of pure straight line speed. But again, you cannot really win a race with straight line speed only, or acceleration, or cornering. You need the whole pack, really. This is some inside info. I never enjoyed the Vagner that much. It just didn't feel right to me. I preferred the XA21. The XA21, my goodness, that's acceleration. It feels like an electric car, but it's really not. It accelerates so well, but we'll get to that in due time. As you can see, when the speed kicks in, the Vagner is very good around the corners. Until then, be careful with the throttle. Be gentle, progressively build up that speed, or else you may spin out. This thing builds up its lap time in these straights. Look at this. It gets a 135. It's no S80RR, but it truly gets that speed from the straights. I'm still racing this as the S80RR. It's unbelievable. And of course, it doesn't have the response. It just doesn't. It's able to get a great lap time, make no mistake. I mean, it's a few tenths of a second, but over the course of the entire race, that gap will build up tremendously. Even when the car builds up that speed for downforce to kick in, it's still nothing compared to the S80RR or the RE7B. Although the RE7B lacks acceleration and top speed, but it's very good on the corners. Normally, this is very odd, but to me, the Vagner really doesn't have a niche. It just doesn't. If I need tight cornering, I'll either pick the RE7B, the ETR, or even the Tyrus, really. Because they're more responsive in the corners. Even the XA21. Here is where the Vagner builds up that lap time in straights, believe it or not. It's an odd It's an odd vehicle, this one. It's harder to drive than the S80RR or even the RB7, the RE7B. This is not an easy car to drive. Sure, you can get good lap times easier than certain supers, but to really drive it at the limit, you need a lot of skill. Make no mistake. Your throttle point needs to be perfect, or else you're going to spin out at low corners. When I get to the Devastate, you will see something amazing. Every single corner has to be meticulously controlled with the throttle, or else you're going to crash, and the car is always sliding, always. It's very fun. It feels like a real car, the Devastate, because if you're truly driving at the limit, there's a bit of slide always going to happen. It means that the traction is at the absolute limit, just a tiny half of a mile more in terms of power, and you're going to die in a monumental flaming crash. Okay, being a bit conservative because I can do quite a good lap time here. There it is, very good. That was a good cornering, very good cornering. Okay, into the final. Full power on the throttle. Okay, no, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I need to back off a bit in the corners. This is no S80RR. I just need to back off. I cannot go full out. I cannot go full out, flat out. Cannot go. It's simply not possible. Car was not designed for that. I'm trying to avoid all curbs because, like I said, this car does not like curbs. Same as the Pariah. The Pariah does not like curbs or crashes. If you hit the wall, even at the slightest of speeds, you're going to crash and barrel. The Pariah is made of paperweight. It's incredibly fast, but made of paperweight. Okay, that's cool. I really want to push further, but I cannot. I'll crash. I know I will. Okay, can it get to 134? No, not quite. Simply not possible. It does get a respectable 135 something for the Vagner. I mean, it can compete with the S80RR. Let's see, a 135. What's the value? 369. So the difference is 9/10 of a second. So for all intents and purposes, 1 second. Yeah, I mean, a second over 10 laps, that's a 10 seconds difference. That's something. At the highest level, that's something. But again, car does not go well over curbs, great top speed, decent acceleration, but the handling, until the downforce kicks in, the car does oversteer a lot.